All right, trade recap. Let's get into it. Today literally played out exactly how I wanted it to. I'm gonna turn off my executions for now. I guess I'll tell you, I caught a 6R trade and a loss. All right, let's just get into it from the beginning. All right, so let's just look at the 15-minute real quick, just before market open, just so I can kind of frame out exactly where and why I'm explaining the trade. Okay, so as I did explain in the pre-market, what I essentially wanted to see was first a break out of this accumulation range that we had generated during the overnight session, or sessions rather. And I want to see us grab this liquidity, tap into this order block down here. I literally marked it out. It was like literally right here. There's 15-minute, so was that in a half hour? I'm pretty sure it was half hour. Let me check that real quick. Um, I don't remember exactly what I marked it. It was this kind of range right here, which we, perfectly tapped, right? And as I was scaling down to the lower time frames, we did get, my model. I'm not going to explain it fully on this video, but, my model did play out. I got the inverse as my entry model and my conviction pointing towards the upside, right? However, I did get stopped out on that trade, right? A huge deficit towards the downside. However, I was looking for a second trade, and I'll explain that right now. So on ES, I had a 4-hour fair value that got marked out right here, which I really wanted rejections off of, and we eventually got. Notice how I marked this out in my pre-market analysis right here. This, what is this even called? Path tool to tap into this imbalance down here and eventually close over here, right? That was my original conviction. However, the trade did not play out. I'm literally leaking my indicators. Okay, then. That's not important. It doesn't matter. You guys don't know how to use them. Unless you're my student. LOL. Anyways, back to the main point of everything. I played it patient. I waited for my next trade to play out. I waited to see what the macro did. News didn't bring us jack shit. The macro just told us to grab this liquidity down here, right? And I'm thinking in my head, okay, it's extremely unlikely that we're gonna come all the way down here, because if we do, we are overall high time frame downtrend for sure, and we're just gonna be absolutely falling to grab these lows, which is another fucking 200 points. It's not what I want to see, especially with ES breaking all-time highs. I want to see the Nasdaq soar, and that's exactly what I got. Okay, so I played it patient. I waited until price gave me a level that I really liked, and I aligned it with a level that I had. I won't say here, but I literally signaled it in my Discord as well. I said entry at 16650, like I have right here, or 165 whatever 50, with our stops at London high. Okay, and then we kind of came back down and retraced after tapping London high. And look at this, the exact level that I had marked out in my pre-market analysis. Rejected off of like butter on toast, like just like that. This was a pretty banger trade. You see this partial right here? I absolutely would not have partial out of this trade whatsoever if I didn't take a loss. If I took a loss, I would have rolled this trade throughout. I ended up making, I believe, 4.5 grand on the day. I got a screenshot right here. I'm gonna show you guys real quick. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, I wouldn't have partialed out this trade if I hadn't taken a loss here, because that's the name of the game, right? It's about risk management, not profit management. Okay. Oh, I'm in this lot. I'm in this trade and it's super green and it's staying green. All right, cool. Let me just take back my losses for the day. I'd rather end the day break even than have it hit my stop loss and me lose even more money. That's just stupid, right? It's the key is risk management. And when price tapped into my level down here and started moving towards the upside, we initially rejected off of this 15-minute imbalance that I had marked out right about here. If you look in the 1 minute, right? And I told my Discord that, all right, price is making its way back down, then retracing back up. If we retrace back up through this imbalance, it is so likely that we're going to inverse it, because this is sort of a trend I've seen happen within the markets, is that if you retest a what's it called, a FEG like kind of like this in this certain situation. I don't really know how to explain it, but when you retest an FEG like this, it is so likely to inverse. And what do you know? We shot up like 67 points, smash London highs, and then continue moving lower, right? That's exactly what happened. And I was complete. I was like, this is either going to break even or it's going to smash London highs. There's no in between. I literally said that, dude. I have it written down. In fact, I could probably show you guys right here. I'll just show you guys real quick. Right here. We said this trade is either hitting break even or London high because we retested likely to become an inversion, draw on liquidity, blah blah blah. And that's exactly what happened. So let's kind of get into the nitty and gritty of this trade actually. All right. Because that first one was just kind of following my model like normal. And this, I allow myself to take 2 trades a day and it works out, you know, well enough for me. Right. What kind of confirmed my bias here was this tap into the 4-hour fair value on ES. I really wanted to see that get tapped into. I was playing it super patient, waiting for it, and wasn't jumping the gun on anything, right? I saw that super bullish reaction out of it, right, over here. And that's when, you know, I had a level marked out. I'm, again, not going to get into the details of that. But I did. And I decided to take an order sell with a, sorry, order buy, limit buy with a 20-point stop. It almost tagged me out, but I don't fear in these situations. I don't get out for no good reason. I know what I know and I know what I want to see, right? And we came back and retested this imbalance, coming back down, and we eventually delivered higher. But there's something specific about this trade that I really, really, really enjoyed. This, you guys see this right here? Look at this beautiful market structure shifts that we're having on ES. It's just continuing higher. It doesn't matter how messy it was on NQ. This was more than enough conviction for me to say, all right, we are slowly continuing higher to the upside. And I was really banking on that manipulation, like to fail that imbalance and to distribute higher. That's exactly what trading ICT is. And this is an exact ICT model that played out. Essentially, the reason that I didn't hop in this trade earlier was because I wanted a structural break. All right. We broke structure towards the upside on the, on the 3-minute here, right? And I wanted that retrace back down. And where did I set my limit order for that retrace? At a key level. That's literally it. That's as simple as I can really make it here. I, you know, could have held until my level up here. However, I did, you know, break even my trade and took partials to break even my day. And I really didn't feel like putting on any more risk than I really needed to when I know something that's guaranteed. This level isn't guaranteed as much as London highs, right? Like session liquidity highs and lows are exceptional to target, right? This is just some level I marked out, like I could have top ticked or took a short or whatever. You know, it's just one of my levels. It's not as researched or back tested as session highs and lows. I just want it to be safe. And when you look at that, absolute catastrophic rejection off of that. I would honestly say that today is one of the best days of price action we have had in such a long time. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life, bro. It's been so long since prices moved like this. I feel like it's been since like October 2024, the last time that price moved like this. It's just absolutely incredible to see. And I absolutely love trading this price action. There's absolutely nothing better and nothing that makes me more happy than seeing this within the market. Well, as of for tomorrow, or I don't even know. I don't do like videos like this where I look at tomorrow. I just worry about the day itself. Yeah, no, that's literally all I have to really say about this trade. All it really was is just a simple AMD setup. We're accumulating orders overnight, manipulated to the downside to grab liquidity, and then distribute back up to session highs. And that's exactly what we did right here. Like here's a prime example of our AMD, right? Here's our, oops, let me try this. Here is our accumulation range, manipulation, and then distribution to take London highs. Let me just change the colors of that real quick. Make this guy red, make this guy yellow, make that guy green right there. See? Accumulation, manipulation, distribution. It's just the easiest power of 3 strategy to follow. With the correct entry model and conviction, you will easily be able to sustain any type of trading within your day-to-day basis. It's not something that's complicated, and it's not something that's difficult. All it is just following a proven system. That's literally the easiest way that I can really put it. That being said, that'll be all for the recap today. Let's bounce back tomorrow, see what we can do.